Everyone knows that Peppa Pig's best friend is Suzie Sheep, as they're always playing together. But did you know there's a strong possibility that Suzie Sheep has an evil twin no one knows about? That's right. Just like many fans believe Peppa has an evil twin who replaces her in certain episodes, there's a theory suggesting that Suzie Sheep is actually the one with a malicious sibling. However, Suzie's theory takes a completely different turn. Peppa's evil twin theory relies on real-world logic, proposing that Mommy Pig, being a pig, might have secretly given birth to several other siblings of Peppa and George, since pigs often have large litters. Suzie's theory, on the other hand, leans on science to explore an even more bizarre possibility. If you're wondering what we're talking about, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of Dolly the sheep? This real-world sheep was born in Scotland in 1997, but not in a conventional way. In fact, she was created by scientists through cloning. That's right, clones are real, and Dolly is famously known as the first mammal cloned from an adult sheep. This has led many people to wonder, if there's a real-life sheep that's been cloned, could Suzie Sheep also have a clone that takes her place in certain episodes? At first, many fans dismissed this theory as far-fetched, but over time, with hints scattered across episodes, some began to suspect that this possibility might not be just another wild internet theory. That's because we see Suzie acting and speaking strangely as though she's a completely different girl. This could mean there's a version of Peppa's best friend with a much, much darker personality. Still don't believe it? That's okay. By the end of this video, you'll be fully convinced that Suzie has an evil twin. So let's dive in. Welcome to Cinewave. In one episode where Dr. Hamster's tortoise gets stuck in a tree, many people notice Suzie behaving very oddly. For some reason, she was adamant that someone should cut the tree down as if that were the best way to rescue the little animal. The strangest part? This wasn't a one-time suggestion. When Dr. Hamster called for firefighters Miss Cow and Miss Elephant, they climbed the tree but ended up stuck alongside the tortoise. And guess what suggestion Suzie made? Once again, she proposed cutting the tree down. Of course, no one supported her idea, so Dr. Hamster called for help from Grandpa Dog. When he arrived and asked for suggestions, Suzie, yet again, pushed the same reckless idea. When Grandpa Dog announced he'd climb the tree, Suzie was the only one who didn't cheer. But the moment Grandpa Dog also got stuck, Suzie seemed thrilled and asked if they finally agreed to cut the tree down. This sudden and bizarre obsession with cutting down the tree has even become a meme among fans of the show, given how nonsensical it is. But what if this isn't just a joke from the show? What if it's a clue that the Suzie in this episode isn't the same Suzie we usually see in the series? Normally, Suzie is a kind girl who cares about others, but this version seems obsessed with proving her rescue idea is better than asking for help. She shows no concern when Grandpa Dog gets stuck in the tree, she simply sees it as an opportunity to prove she's right. The worst part is that her idea of cutting down the tree could have seriously injured the tortoise. Yet she persisted with this dangerous plan even after Miss Cow, Miss Elephant, and Grandpa Dog got stuck. At best, they would have been severely hurt. At worst, they could have died if Dr. Hamster followed Suzie's suggestion. Could this have been the little sheep's true intention? I wouldn't be surprised if this Suzie isn't the original, but her evil twin instead. Maybe she wanted to cut down the tree so everyone would lose their lives, leaving the blame squarely on the real Suzie, whose reputation would be utterly destroyed. If you believe the Suzie in this episode was her evil twin, comment below with #EvilTwin. One of the most puzzling mysteries in the entire show revolves around Suzie's family. While she has a mother, her father has never appeared or even been mentioned in nearly 400 episodes of Peppa Pig, and the show has been releasing new episodes for over 20 years. There have been countless theories about this. Maybe he passed away, or perhaps he divorced Suzie's mom, but it's also very possible that Daddy Sheep never existed at all. After all, remember the theory about Suzie's evil twin being a clone created through science? Considering that sheep are among the easiest mammals to clone, and recalling how Dolly the sheep was created from an adult sheep, this leads us to believe that kind-hearted Suzie Sheep might not be the original at all. In fact, both Suzie and her evil twin could very well be younger clones of Mommy Sheep herself. This theory not only perfectly explains why Daddy Sheep is never mentioned, but it also makes much more sense than it seems. Mommy Sheep is close friends with Miss Rabbit, who is famously known for having dozens of jobs, including being a nurse. It's very likely that she also works as a scientist and had the knowledge to help her friend become a mother. Mommy Sheep may have desperately wanted to have children but couldn't, possibly due to infertility. However, with the help of her coworker, she was able to create a miniature version of herself, Suzie Sheep, and her evil twin. She then raised Suzie as though she were her biological daughter. We've seen something similar happen in Dogman with Petey and his clone, so it's not entirely impossible that the writers of Peppa Pig could have come up with a similar idea. The issue is that only Suzy was supposed to be created through cloning, but somehow another one appeared, her evil twin. This twin grew up in the shadows, watching Peppa's best friend live a happy life with a mother and lots of friends. Filled with uncontrollable envy, the twin occasionally impersonates Suzy to live her life. When Suzy is sick, the evil twin goes to school in her place or plays with Peppa without anyone realizing. But perhaps it's only a matter of time before someone discovers the truth. This raises another question. Many theories suggest that Miss Rabbit might not be as kind-hearted as she seems. Could it be that she accidentally created the evil twin, or did she do it on purpose? Another time Suzy behaved rather suspiciously was when Peppa went on a trip to Italy with her family. Just before Peppa left, Suzy stopped by to play with her and found out her friend was leaving for a trip. The next day, Suzy left her house in the rain just to go to Peppa's house and ask if she was back yet, even though she knew her friend had just left and wouldn't return anytime soon, especially since Peppa's parents had packed large suitcases. At first, this seems innocent enough. Kids her age can be a bit naive, so she probably thought her friend wouldn't be gone for long. But things got strange when Suzy returned later that same day to ask about Peppa again, as if she hadn't just done that a little while ago. Isn't it odd that she decided to go out twice in the rain, risking getting soaked, despite the very slim chances of her friend having come back so soon? Unless, of course, it wasn't Suzy who went looking for Peppa the second time, but another identical sheep. The evil twin had already learned that Peppa had gone on a trip. Being smarter than the real Suzy, she waited a few more hours before asking about her friend. It's highly likely that it was the evil twin who greeted Peppa when she returned from Italy, as it was her to whom Grandpa Pig said Peppa was flying back home. Meanwhile, the poor real Suzy was probably sitting at home, feeling sad. But she wouldn't feel so sad if she subscribed to this channel. Suzy can't do that because she's a cartoon character, but you can. It's totally worth it because you'll always get our daily videos about your favorite cartoons. So what are you waiting for? It's not just us fans who've noticed that Suzy behaves in some pretty strange ways at times. Peppa plays with the little sheep almost every day, so she notices it too, sometimes commenting on it in the episode where her friend thinks she's going to move away. She says that Suzy can be really bossy sometimes, and Suzy just denies it and acts like she's lying. When we see this scene normally, we think we're just witnessing two whiny kids arguing. But with what you're learning from this video, did it ever cross your mind that Suzy might actually be telling the truth at this moment? It's already pretty clear that Suzy's evil twin has a much more aggressive personality, especially after what we saw in the episode where she wanted to knock down the tree. She hates being wrong and will be happy to prove herself right, even if it means putting someone else in danger. So it's not at all unbelievable to think that she could be the bossy Suzy who annoys Peppa. But as we've mentioned, Suzy's evil twin isn't just bossy, she also doesn't seem to care about what happens to other people, the complete opposite of Suzy, right? But the little sheep acts exactly like that when her group goes to a camping trip. Suzy is supposed to sleep in a tent with Peppa. However, after the two of them hear some noises, she simply abandons Peppa in the tent and walks off to Madame Gazelle's tent. It's okay to be scared, that's natural, especially when you're a little kid. But Suzy left her friend behind and walked off, leaving the tent open. If there really had been any wild animals around, Peppa could have been attacked because of her friend's selfishness. And Suzy's twin might not have done this because she was genuinely scared. With how sadistic she seems, she might have done it just because Peppa already had some suspicions that something's wrong with her best friend, and the evil twin will do whatever it takes to keep that secret hidden. So it's best for Peppa to always stay alert. Let's hope nothing bad happens to Peppa Pig, right? The video is wrapping up here, but you can choose one of the two videos on your screen to keep watching and have more fun. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!